Welcome to Global News and Signature TV. I'm Charles Pius. In the headlines, Airpeace suspends all flights nationwide amidst NIMET strike. EFCC warns against fake land vendors in Abuja, arrest suspects for multi-million naira land scam. Zelensky highlights emotions in talks, expresses hope for peace through joint efforts, and Trump signs orders on university accreditation and foreign gifts. Details shortly. I beg. Oh. The lady we produce, tell us she help me bring her Ororo, bring her off my mouth. Airpeace, one of Nigeria's leading airlines, has announced the immediate suspension of all domestic flight operations due to an ongoing strike by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency (NIMET). In a statement released on Wednesday, the airline explained that the suspension was a safety precaution, citing the unavailability of NIMET's critical weather updates, particularly the current nowcast of Hazeda's weather report, which are vital for safe landings during the rainy season. The disruption comes on the same day the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, commissioned the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's international airport in Minna. Meanwhile, many passengers were stranded on Wednesday at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano State, following a protest by staff members of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency over the non-implementation of the new national minimum wage. The protest caused delays in several scheduled flights at the airport. The Northwest Zonal Chairman of the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporations, Civil Service, Technical and Recreational Employees, Timothy Meshiela, also confirmed that the protest disrupted several flights at the airport on Wednesday. The protesting staff are accusing the management of NIMET of failing to implement the 30,000 naira and 70,000 naira minimum wage non-payment of staff allowances, ignoring requests to include omitted staff in past payments, and neglecting key training programs, among other issues. They also demanded that management take proactive measures to address the economic challenges faced by staff, including the payment of a subsistence allowance as previously agreed with the unions. As of the time of this report, officials of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria in Kano had yet to make an official statement regarding the protests. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Airport in Minna, Niger State, has officially been designated as the alternative airport to the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. This announcement was made by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, during the launch of Overland Airways commercial flight operations from the Minna Airport. Highlighting the airport's capacity and strategic relevance, Keyamo praised the facility's infrastructure and its potential to serve as a major aviation hub. He emphasized that the airports meet international standards in both physical and operational aspects, and expressed surprise at its previous underuse. While declaring the summit of open, the Enugu State government, Peter Mba, said there is an influx of foreign and local investors to the state as a result of a conducive environment put in place by the state government. Correspondent Ugonewano reports. Call her to come. Call her to come. She brought it when I was on radio the news. They had to bring it.
Oh, okay.
The news, this particular one, the intro, it didn't sound well.
It's true. When I was doing it,
Which John is, how can you start a sentence with while?
Well, at a point.
When you were doing, I don't
edited
understand you were doing it. Didn't you see that it started with while?
I saw it.
So why did you leave it? Did you start your sentence with while?
I don't. Well, I don't know what to do. You know, it was this person that edited it. No, so now Gala they do the final this thing. The fact that they left it that way.
Nothing like that. You don't start a sentence with while. That's the way you from what you have. That's the way you can coin it and redo the story. President Peter Mba has, inaugurated the what is in 2 lines, 3 lines. Then you introduce this person.
Okay. Do it next time. Thank you. No, you said thank you.
See,
Yeah.
I'm not here.
Papa, are you doing that one?
You want to be what a boy with.
Call the producer. The Delta State story is in the bulletin.
Delta State. Which of the stories?
The governor defecting to APC.
The Oko something.
Johnny Oko.
No, they have the one I have is what's that man's name? Okowa. And others. Defects from
Okowa. No, governor himself defected. That was the story. That one is former governor. No problem.
Or is it Governor Obe?
Both are over now.
Okay. I think all of them are there. That's the one I have.
Okay. That's supposed to be breaking news. It's supposed to be higher than this. Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, a lecturer in the Department of Finance at the University of Lagos, Dr. Peter Ama, has advised the federal government to take another look at its economic policies and remove the inherent pains. Dr. Ama, who spoke in an interview with Signature TV, noted that even though the policy reforms are good in themselves, the timing, concept, and implementation are bad. He said that all the market and economic indices in the country have been negatively impacted by the reforms with accompanying backlash. The finance expert said it is not a sign of weakness to reverse a policy when it does not produce the desired result. Ahmad therefore told the government and its economic team to return to the drawing boards and rejig the policy for a better result. Chairman of the House Committee on the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, Honorable Aderemi Hosseini, has distributed 5,206 bags of fertilizer to farmers in the Ido-Ibarapa East Federal Constituency. The distribution took place in Ibadan as part of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Hosseini, who described the gesture as one of the several steps being taken to support constituents and improve their quality of life, emphasized that the initiative aims to boost agricultural productivity and uplift the livelihood of local farmers. He urged the farmers to make wise use of the fertilizers and assure them of his constituent of continued advocacy for better living conditions.
In his Renew Hope agenda for making life easy for our people, particularly in the area of agriculture, that he is putting an end to poverty, promoting prosperity that is for all as a nation. I'm very optimistic that this noble idea, distribution of fertilizer to our farmers, will bring great success to our people in the area of agriculture, and it's going to be to their advantage because we have sufficiently educated them on the importance of this material and the importance of them putting it into use in the course of their farming activities. My word of advice to them is for every one of them to ensure that it is used as encouraged, it is used as advised by those who are knowledgeable in the way the fertilizers are being used at our various farming activities. So.
Speaking at the event, Oyo State's coordinator of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Florence Omonele, represented by Folake Abdul Latif, advised farmers to apply the fertilizers correctly for optimal results. Grateful beneficiaries expressed appreciation to Hosseini, noting that the support would help alleviate their challenges and enhance farm productivity.
In our farming production. So we really thank you so much. We thank our rep, Honorable Aderemi Hosseini, very well for these important things that give us.
The event was well attended by the All Progressives Congress officials, traditional rulers, and representatives of community groups. The governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has given commercial drivers operating with tinted windows 72 hours to remove them or face legal consequences. This directive was announced in a press release issued by Oguike Onwachukwu, the Chief Press Secretary and Special Advisor on Media to the Governor. According to this statement, law enforcement agencies have been instructed to support government officials in enforcing the order once the deadline expires. The crackdown follows numerous reports linking tinted commercial vehicles, especially buses, to criminal activities across the state. To curb the trend, security agencies have been tasked with working closely with the designated officials to ensure strict compliance. Nwachukwu warned that violators will be prosecuted after the 72-hour grace period, serving as a deterrent to others who might ignore the new rule. Up ahead, NHRC, NACA push for local HIV/AIDS drug production as global funding declines. Ribadu says Tinubu inherited deep-rooted insecurity and failing governance. These and more after the break. Welcome back to the Global News. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has issued a strong warning to the public regarding the activities of fraudulent land vendors operating within the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The alert follows the arrest of one Umuobo Williams Chubuike, who allegedly defrauded multiple victims by selling non-existent plots of land in areas such as Kurudu, Sabolugbe East Extension, Bayegi, and Jukwe Village Extension. Preliminary investigations revealed that Chibuike, who claimed to be the managing director of companies such as the CNC Realty and Construction Limited, Dreamcrest Homes and Properties Limited, and Dan Face Shelters Limited, was involved in the sale of fictitious properties across the FCT. Victims were reportedly convinced to make payments ranging from 3.5 million naira to 60 million naira for the plots in areas including Kasana, Piakasa, Katampe Extension, Gusape 2, Kuje, and others. According to the EFCC, verification from the Federal Capital Development Authority confirmed that none of the advertised locations actually exist. Chibuike is expected to be charged in court once investigations are concluded. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale, in a statement released on Wednesday, advised the public to exercise caution, particularly when dealing with itinerant land marketers in Abuja. Niger State Governor Umar Bago has reversed his controversial directive ordering the arrest of individuals with dreadlocks following widespread backlash from the public civil rights advocates. The governor had earlier instructed security agencies to arrest anyone seen with dreadlocks across the state, linking the hairstyle to rising cult-related activities and insecurity, particularly in Minna, the state's capital. In addition to the dreadlocks directive, Bago also announced a 12-hour daily restriction on commercial motorcycles and tricycles, banning their operation from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. as part of a broader crackdown on violent crimes. The initial statements targeting individuals with dreadlocks sparked intense criticism across social media and from members of the public who accused the governor of promoting discrimination and lacking a proper grasp of effective crime-fighting strategies. Responding to the outrage, Bago clarified his position on Wednesday during an event in Minna, where he declared the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Airport as an alternative to Abuja's Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. Bago maintained that law-abiding citizens are not under threat, stating that crackdown is solely aimed at criminal elements who use cult symbols, including dreadlocks, to mask their activities and evade law enforcement. The National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, and the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, has called for the local production of HIV/AIDS test kits and medications as a strategic response to recent funding shortfalls impacting the fight against the disease. The call was made during the opening session of a 3-day stakeholders engagement on the review and implementation of anti-discrimination programs under the HIV and AIDS Anti-Discrimination Act of 2014, held Wednesday in Lagos. The events brought together key stakeholders and dignitaries from across the country The appeal follows the recent decision by the United States government to withdraw funding from the United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS, UNAIDS, which has raised concerns over the sustainability of HIV/AIDS intervention globally. Speaking at the event, NHRC Executive Secretary Dr. Tony Ojukwu highlighted the urgent need for enhanced research and development towards local production of antiretroviral drugs and medical supplies. He also stressed that while progress has been made, full implementation of the anti-discrimination law remains inconsistent across the country. Ojukwu further called on the Nigerian government to demonstrate greater commitment by increasing the national health budget, noting that the responsibility to eliminate discrimination against people living with HIV/AIDS must rest solely with the federal government. Also speaking at the forum, Dr. Chukwugozie Ujam, Deputy Director of Community and Prevention Care Services at NACA, provided insights into the agency's ongoing efforts in the fight against HIV/AIDS. Despite decades of awareness campaigns, he noted that misinformation and stigma continue to pose significant challenges. Ujam reported that Nigeria has made significant progress, with HIV prevalence rates seeing a substantial decline. He emphasized that NACA is now shifting its strategic focus from treatment to prevention, aiming to forestall any resurgence of the disease. He called on the government to foster a more supportive environment for local manufacturers and noted that the Ministry of Health has already taken steps by increasing funding for disease control to improve responses to both communicable and non-communicable diseases nationwide. The administrator of Rivers State, retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ekweibas, has appealed to the Christian Association of Nigeria CAN Rivers State chapter to play a pivotal role in fostering peace, reconciliation, and stability in the state amid ongoing political and security challenges. Ibas, who spoke at the meeting with CAN leaders at the Government House in Port Harcourt, emphasized the importance of moral guidance by the church in restoring harmony in the state. The administrator urged CAN to leverage its influence by preaching peace not only to their congregations but also to the communities, thereby promoting unity across ethnic and political divides, to encourage forgiveness and reconciliation.
The resurrection of Christ is not just a foundational event of our faith. It is a living call to action, a call to forgive, to reconcile, and to build together. It is no secret that our dear state has faced significant political and security challenges in recent times. Respected leaders of CAN here present, in every period of national difficulty, the Church has remained a steady voice of conscience. We need the prayers, partnership, and prophetic voice of the Church more than ever. I appeal to you to promote unity, transcending ethnic, political, and denominational lines.
The leader of the delegation, Most Reverend Dr. Kala Dokubo, appealed to the administrator to involve the group in peace-building process and to ensure that critical aspects of the governance are not ignored during the period of emergency rule, especially environmental sanitation.
God has a purpose.
And now to some other developments. Delta State Governor Sheriff Oboweri, the immediate past governor Ifeanyi Okowa, and all members of the People's Democratic Party in Delta State have defected to the All Progressives Congress. The announcement was made on Wednesday in Asaba by Senator James Manager shortly after a meeting that lasted over 6 hours at Government House Asaba. Manager declared that all PDP members in the state, including the governor, former Governor Okowa, the speaker, the state party chairman, all the local government chairmen and others, have agreed to move to the APC. Meanwhile, a former Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Alison Madueke, has added his voice to the call for the establishment of a state police to help tackle the worsening insecurity in various parts of the country. Admiral Madueke made the call while addressing the Economic Development Summit put together by the chairman of Oji River Local Government Area, Greg Anyebudike, at the council headquarters in Oji River. He regretted that even when governors are labeled as chief security officers of their various states, they have no control over the police in their states.
I could call my commissioner in the state and tell him this should be done. But I pity the governors today. They are labeled and designated as chief security officers of the state. And yet, they don't have any control of the police. Not to talk about the army. So they are helpless. Member senators, let us push for a state police so that governors take responsibility for the security of their own people. In the last 2 weeks, it's been resonating everywhere. Governors turning to people and saying, defend yourself. Defend yourself. If the governor says defend yourself, you know what it means? Loss of control. Get armed. Before you know it, we're turned into a banana republic. We have units that you have to pay before you gain passage or do anything. So it is more important now than ever to get state policies so that governors will take responsibility as chief security officers.
Madueke, who was also a former governor of the old Anambra State, commended the local government for organizing the summit, which he said is the first of its kind in the area. He, however, suggested that issues such as access to land or industrial estates and provision of power should be addressed to bring about the much desired economic development.
You run on generators, you can never break even. I'm doing a pharmaceutical factory in Enugu. Show you alone. It's so scary. And I'm imagining how much I will pay for electricity when I go into food production. I'm happy our governor is very energetic and very focused. Power supply industries should be subsidized to attract industries. If not, no matter what you produce, you might not compete even with imported items.
The Ari Ona Kankafo of Yoruba land, the Iba Gani Adams, has tasked the President Bola Tinubu-led Nigerian government not to continue to turn a blind eye on Benue, Plateau, and Oyo State amid the recent escalation of insecurity across the country. Adam spoke while delivering a keynote address at the grand finale of the 2025 Eledumare Festival in Lagos. Speaking with a specific reference to the insecurity issues and humanitarian crisis confronting Nigeria in Plateau, Benue, and Ondo State, the monarch condemned the activities of armed herders suspected to be behind the killings and kidnappings in the three states. According to him, the crisis gives a sense of instability and discourages foreign investors. Urging the federal government to act now immediately, he said, "We cannot, because of the political benefits of the federal government, continue to ignore what would be of immense benefits to the rest of the country." There has been a surge in attacks and killings in Benue, Plateau, and Ondo states in recent weeks. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has suggested that President Bola Tinubu and his administration inherited an extremely bad government, particularly in security. Ribadu stated this on Tuesday when he visited Benue State to commiserate with the government and the people over the killing of over 72 people by terrorists masquerading as herdsmen. The NSA, who condemned the killings, urged the people of Benue to give Tinubu government a chance and stop politicizing the killings. According to him, this will help the federal government to restore peace in the state. The ancient kingdom of Arochukwu was alive with merriment and celebrations during the traditional marriage of Amaka Iwoma Nana, daughter of former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. O.J. Nana, and Orji Ogbonnaya Orji Jr., son of the Executive Secretary of Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NATI. The event, attended by top government officials and distinguished guests from across the country and beyond, including the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti, took place at the residence of Dr. O.J. Nana in Otugugu, Arochukwu, Abia State. Correspondent Raymond Ken Mbata was present and provides highlights of the event.
Unity, respect, and cooperation. Central to the traditional marriage customs of Arochukwu is the Ibumayuku, a ceremony involving the bride price negotiations and the offering of drinks from the groom's family to the bride's kindred. For this occasion, the family of Dr. Orji Ogbonnaya Orji, the Executive Secretary of Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NAIT, and the National Coordinator of AT Implementation in Nigeria of Ugwavo Village, formalized the union between their son, Orji Ogbonnaya Orji Jr., and Amaka Iwoma Nana, daughter of a former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. O.J. Nana, of Atani Village, both in Arochukwu Kingdom. Eze Aro of Arochukwu Kingdom, Eze Ebechukwu Orji, the paramount ruler, stressed the importance of performing traditional rites to secure and strengthen marital unions. He noted that Arochukwu marital customs forbid infidelity and promote love and unity throughout the marriage.
So Delta State Governor has defected. Kowa himself has also defected. But what I wanted to say about this defection is that did they consult with the people? Because as of the last time, Delta States really did vote the APC. The last election showed that they voted Labour Party at the presidential level and they voted for PDP at the state level. So we still have a large chunk of people who love Labour Party and who still love PDP. Not so much people love APC in Delta State. So I'm wondering, what was the idea of joining an APC that has largely, become unpopular But that's the truth. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. I know that people who are also members of the APC who would like to have APC, get inroad into the south part of the country. But the current administration is not showing any anything, any idea or any sign that they even know what's going on. I mean, look at what's going on in Benue and Plateau State, the killings, unabated. Look at the level of hunger. We've had more people get into multidimensionally poor, within the last 2 years that they got into power. So what is that thing that someone would look at and then get attracted to a political party that has become largely unpopular? So this is largely, for me, politics. It's still in that playing in the realm of politics. But then, in all of this politics, where does the people, where do they stay? Where are they in this whole calculation? Because I believe that a governor should read the sensibilities and the sensitivities of the people that is leading before making that kind of move. So if the majority don't like the APC and the governance of the APC, why move to the APC? Except they're saying that the people's vote don't count and that the president is what determines their vote. Or better still, they haven't done so good, so well, that they are relying on federal might to be able to win an election. Except that's the whole issue, because that's the only reason why a PDP governor will move to APC. You could say for the likes of River State's similar for Fubara, all right, you could say for him, he can be excused because you just have to play the game. The game is the game. You just have to join the ruling party to show solidarity. Then whatever happens at the elections in 2027 is none of your business. But it's that to show that you are with them. Play their card, play their ball. I mean, go ahead, play, because again, everything is politics. Wike opened his mouth and said he didn't tell you that he was a bishop. It's a game. So Fubara has to play the game. So that's why I support his meeting with the president. And if the result of the meeting now becomes that he needed to move to APC to show some level of trust and solidarity, why not? Why not? That's the only person that can be excused, given the peculiarity of his case. But every other person, what are you moving to APC for at this time? It's not like if EFCC is chasing you, or you are going to be removed, or something is going to happen to you. No, nothing of such is going to happen to you. Immunity covers you until any other thing. I just see a desperation. The desperation to the extent that the president, for me, he's seen that the numbers that he got from the north will not be the same. He had 62% of votes from the north that made him win that election. So if the numbers in the north drops, just know that he has to get it from somewhere from the south. So that's the reason I think he's practically looking for the numbers in the south to cover for the north that he's going to lose, because he's going to lose a lot of ground in the north. He's going to lose a lot of ground. The numbers he scored in the north will not necessarily be the numbers he's going to score. I mean, for this first time, he didn't score well in Kano. He didn't even win Kano. He didn't win Kaduna. And these are the two big places in the northwest that you're looking at. He didn't win Abuja. He didn't win Plateau. So these are the areas and places that that might be a huge problem for him. And Atiku or Peter Obi, whatever they are doing, whatever talk that they're trying to put, look, both of them must work together for anything meaningful to happen. Both of them must. I don't know how. Either somebody steps down for the other person to take over, or somebody steps up, or somebody to be the. I don't know, but both of them must work together to be able to stand a chance. But the way the things are going, this man would do anything and everything possible to feel that he's loved and to move more governors over to his part just to win that 2027 election. So I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you as always. All right. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you guys. Salute to you.
Enjoy the love that they enjoy
Still to come, Trump signs orders on university accreditation and foreign gifts. Argentine pensioners protest invoking Pope Francis's message. Do stay with us.
My boy.
This one we just looked at the same. You want to go to marriage again? You want to go marry again? I mean, they're hungry to marry a second wife. Ivory Coast opposition leader Tijani Ithiam said on Wednesday he would fight on to run in the West African nation's presidential election due to in October, despite having been removed from the electoral roll. A court in Ivory Coast ruled on Tuesday that Thiam, 62, a former Credit Suisse chief executive, should be removed from the electoral roll because he was a French national registered. The decision, which cannot be appealed, could end Ivorian-born Thiam's ambition to run in the world's top cocoa-producing nation's presidential election. Speaking in an interview, Thiam said his party, PDCI, would not put on an alternative candidate and they would use their political weight nationally and internationally, so that reason prevailed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky acknowledged on Wednesday that talks in London had been marked by emotions and expressed hope that future joint work would lead to peace. He pledged Ukraine would always abide by its constitution and said he believes Ukraine's Western partners, including the United States, will act in line with its strong decisions. That was on an oblique reference to U.S. criticism of Zelensky's statement that recognizing Russian control over the Crimea Peninsula would be against Ukraine's constitution. President Donald Trump's Ukraine envoy Keith Kellogg said on Wednesday there were positive talks in London with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's chief of staff, Andrei Yermak. Meanwhile, Russia's armed forces still lack certain weapons despite significantly increasing arms production last year. President Vladimir Putin told the meeting of the State Military Industrial Commission on Wednesday. According to Putin, Russian troops have received more than 4,000 armored vehicles, 180 warplanes and helicopters, and over 1.5 million drones of various types. But he said there were gaps in other areas. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that he would like to keep Elon Musk for a long time.
He's an incredible guy, he's a brilliant guy, he's a wonderful person. I've seen him with his family. I've seen him with a lot of his children. He's got a lot of children. He treats them good. He loves his children. But he's a brilliant guy, and he was a tremendous help, both in the campaign and in what he's done with Doge. And, you know, we're talking about almost $200 million and rising fast, because many of the things that we were looking at are now being found out to be fact. It's terrible. I mean, the fraud, the waste, the abuse, everything that's happened is just terrible. So I also know that he was treated very unfairly by I guess you call it the public, by some of the public, not by all of it. I said he makes an incredible car, everything he does is good, but they took it out on Tesla.
The Department of Government Efficiency, created by executive order the day Trump took office and helmed by billionaire Musk, has spearheaded efforts to shrink the federal workforce and slash the deficit via mass firing, contract cancellations, and reduce services to Americans across the federal government. But Musk confirmed plans on Tuesday to reduce his government's time commitments to 1 or 2 days a week to focus on his battered car company Tesla, raising questions about the future of the agency's work. As a special government employee, his mandate appeared due to expire at the end of May. The billionaire has provided the White House with political cover, while Doge pursued a cost-cutting drive that has made it deeply unpopular among career staffers. Cabinet secretaries view Doge employees as encroaching on their traditional authority to hire and fire, and some have been reluctant to do its bidding. In another development, President Donald Trump on Wednesday signed an executive order directing his administration to enforce existing laws requiring universities to disclose when they receive large foreign gifts. Trump signed a second order making changes to the university accreditation process in order to force accreditation to be focused on the merit and results rather than woke ideology. White House aide Will Schroff said in the Oval Office. Trump also signed executive orders that included ensuring that historically black colleges are able to do their jobs as effectively, as efficiently as possible, as Schroff said. Another executive order was related to AI and ensuring that school children, young Americans, are adequately trained in AI tools. The U.S. president also signed executive orders on school discipline policies and instructions, and the departments and agencies no longer rely on disparate impact theory.
Apology to ex-President Jonathan. My country people, welcome to Synod Media. I beg, if you never subscribe, you subscribe now to our channel.
Hundreds of elderly Argentines marched towards the Casa Rosada presidential palace on Wednesday, with some carrying banners depicting the late Pope Francis to recall his social justice message. Riot police were deployed as demonstrators beat metal cans and banged pots and chanted slogans demanding better retirement benefits. Retirees are protesting President Javier Milei's austerity measures, which they claim have significantly impacted their livelihoods, resulting in a loss of purchasing power and restrictions on access to medications and health services. Miguel Miset, 76, reflected on the recent deaths of Pope Francis, who was born in Argentina. The demonstration ended outside the presidential palace, where protesters continued their calls for economic relief for Argentina's retirees. And that is the news this hour. Many thanks for watching. I'm Charles Pius. Join me in another 8 minutes for the morning show. Take care of yourself. So we're going straight to the morning show. It's at 8 o'clock. So join us. We are live on YouTube, specifically on Signature TV YouTube channel. Just in case you have SLTV, you can watch it on cable. SLTV channel 265. That's where we are. Not just that, you can also watch here. You watch on YouTube. All right, Signature TV YouTube channel, because this is my personal YouTube channel. So I'm going off right now to prepare for the show. It's just in less than 6 minutes time. I appreciate you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. I really need you to comment on the topic, which is the Obevaweri, Delta State Governor, defection to the APC, and Okowa joining. Is it truly about the people, or it's about their personal pockets? Does it mean that Obevaweri apparently is not strong enough to tell that he cannot muster a winning strategy that can get him back to the seat in 2027? Why join APC when it is unpopular? Why? Let me know. Let me know what you think. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate